Okay, one page of your sketchbook assignment is drawing 3 imaginary boxes in 1-point perspective. In this imaginary drawing, we can include a giant horizon line and the vanishing point on it. When we draw in real life, usually the horizon line, your eye level, is pretty expansive and above the objects that you're drawing. But for our imaginary purposes, to help understanding, we'll include it. So you begin on your sketchbook page by drawing in a horizon line, a pretend eye level. And just around the middle, put a little dot, and that will be your one vanishing point when you draw in 1-point perspective. Remember that vanishing point in reality is where your 2 lines of vision from your 2 eyes converge or meet at your eye level. So to begin, when you draw in 1-point perspective, you do it when a whole plane of a box or an object is facing you. If you're drawing a building and you are directly in front of it, the whole front face of the building is parallel to your picture plane. So I take it back. You don't have to be directly in front of it. You could be down the street. But if the whole parallel front plane is, you can see that entire front plane and it's parallel with your picture frame, your drawing pad, then you start with drawing that whole plane. So in your still life, when you have boxes where a whole plane is facing you like this, it's parallel to your sketch pad, then you use 1-point perspective. So to begin your sketchbook assignment, draw a horizon line, a vanishing point, and 3 imaginary box planes above, below, and on the horizon line. From there, it is connect the dots. So find a corner, and using a ruler, if you have one, I'm not because of how I'm sitting here at this weird angle, you connect the dots to the vanishing point. Find a corner. I'm just going to turn it and do it. You can look at my house for a second. And connect the dots. All of the angles in 1-point perspective will either be at 90-degree angles for our purposes, like in the box that you drew, with perpendicular, straight vertical and straight horizontal perpendicular lines, or they will be angles that start at a corner and go to a vanishing point. Okay, so here I've drawn 3 really long boxes like railroad ties to infinity or something. So if you want to make them shorter and make them smaller boxes, which I want you to, you get to decide where do I want to cut them off because they're imaginary. So say I wanted this box to end here. I just created a corner. There's a corner. Now the lines can either go straight up and down, straight horizontal, or to a vanishing point. This line will be parallel with this line, so it will go straight up and down. But now I've created another corner right here. So I'm going to cut it off, that box, and I decided that's where. And so this line, lots of times students kind of mess this up. We make it some random angle, but this line can either go straight up and down to a vanishing point or horizontally parallel with this line. And when you do, you will know it's right because it will feel right and it will look right. So that's one box I truncated. This one, so say I decided I'm going to shorten it and the bottom plane will end there. I just imaginarily made a corner. The line will be on that back edge will be parallel to the line on the front edge. And this box the same. If you want to be tricky, you can make them see-through boxes. Ooh. Whoa. And in that instance, you can take this corner. If this box was made of glass and we could see straight through it, this corner, connect the dots. Now, if I want to draw the back, right, and left edge, the back, bottom and left edge, I find a corner and the line goes horizontally parallel to this edge. I find a corner and the line goes vertically parallel to this edge. So if you want to make them transparent boxes and do that, go for it. But do you see how extreme all those angles are? Generally, students or people who have never thought through or learned about linear perspective will make these angles a lot broader, a lot wider. So follow the rules. That's how you do it in linear perspective. It's a method somebody invented, and if you follow it, it's convincing. So that's what you do. It's all connect the dots. That's 1 point perspective.